is the fish. So I would encourage you to actually be fairly selfish during the next hour and think primarily about yourself. In fact, the more you think about yourself, the chances are you would get a little bit more out of this session. Now the journey which the fish needs to take from this small cluttered glass to the larger one is a difficult one. And to engage in it, you need to have some fundamental purpose to start with. If you don't have an underlying purpose, or you're being primarily driven by your boss, or worse, by your wife, or by some other ambiguous drive which you're not in touch with, then after some time it becomes a little meaningless to get in touch with it. And just indulge me for a few moments, because I'm going to take you on a journey which is somewhat philosophical, but then we are going to tie it very quickly with our own lives and work. What I'd like to share with you is a conception of a journey which has been described as the hero's journey. In the 40s and 50s, I think, in the United States, there was a philosopher and writer called Joseph Campbell, which some of you may have heard of. Any of you heard of Joseph Campbell? Okay. Joseph Campbell was an expert in mythology, and he wrote a very famous book, Hero with 1,000 Faces. Now, why am I bringing this up? The reason I'm bringing it up is that this story of a hero of 1,000 faces, what he found through his research all over the world, was that in all mythologies around the world, the journey of the hero is essentially the same. Okay? So whether you take Indian mythology, or you take Western mythology, or you take Inca mythology, or for that matter you take cartoon characters like Simba and Darth Vader, the basic journey of the hero is the same. So why talk about the journey of the hero? The reason we talk about the journey of the hero is that if you are going to do something dramatic and different in your life, at least for a moment you need to think of yourself as the potential hero. So what is this journey? Did you skip it? Thanks. Campbell says that all heroic journeys basically have three fundamental stages in them. There is an act of separation. Now the way the story is written, it seems he was asked to do. But the way Buddha's story is written, place of newness, and that is when he enters the process of initiation. Okay, so the way I choose to read initiation is just a fancy word for struggle. New world, 10-year job, I don't have the courage to move on because I'm well paid, everybody knows me, frankly why rock the boat? And now suddenly there's a new challenge. Or for 10 years, boom time, really nothing that much to worry about. And now suddenly, the old tricks are not working. Or till 35 or 37 or 40, I basically run the race thinking about me. Now Now I'm in charge of 20 people, rules of the game have changed. Whatever made me successful in stage 1 probably makes me unsuccessful right now. So the period of initiation has started, the vanvas has started, and this is the stage of a lot of dilemma. What is the most well-known document in India around the dilemma of initiation? The Gita. What was the Gita about? The Gita was about an entire discourse of 18 chapters happens at that stage, because the truth is initiation is so hard. So separation without initiation is actually a purposeless act. घर छोड़ दिया उसने, जॉब छोड़ दिया, तो छोड़ के क्या किया? So the connection between separation and initiation is extremely important, and that is the hardest, longest period. That is what the period in, again, fancy language we call the transformative period. Coal and diamond are essentially the same underlying material, but something happens over a long period of time that the same thing looks and feels very different, and that is when scored the decisive victory. Sita is recovered from Ravan, enlightenment is secure, a completely next orbit, someone used that word in the previous session, next orbit is secured, and then the